might need
And
actual
when it comes to PAVAGA,
tiebreakers.
the guys that are against them, they banned out the 3 very strong supports at the moment, and they picked themselves the Darkseer. Very interesting that they didn't ban out that Darkseer after they noticed that Oracle has been banned out. But Hippomaniacs, they want to play against it seems. They ban out the Warlock instead, the Lone Druid and the Earth Spirit, with the Darkseer being let through. Now the question is, what do they pick with their first 2 picks? Perhaps the Sand King and something else. Wow, man! Just wow!
You're not even looking at
calls.
their screens this
I'm
time.
not even
That's
looking
impressive.
at their screens. Yeah, I mean it's pretty much a hero that's being picked up very often. Maybe a Rubik for them now for the second pick of the first phase. It's a hero they play a lot. Maybe they can pick something more broken. That's also an opportunity because Rubik is really strong, but.
You want to get in there before things get locked down.
The thing about Rubik is they're picking it a lot because it's their comfort style, but they don't necessarily have to pick him as he's not really the most broken hero at the moment.
This guy is a little bit more broken.
Nyx Assassin definitely. Wyvern is strong, but not like... I kind of think that he's the same like Rubik. He's alright, but not really that broken. On the other hand, Nyx and Darkseer are borderline broken if you don't have the right tools to deal with them. And right now they lost the best tool to deal with the Darkseer, and that's that Oracle, right? He's possibly the best one. There's Enchantress as well, but besides that, the only thing you can do is draft heroes that are good against him in the lane. However, there aren't many heroes that are good versus him in the lane, because if you pick a hero that's good versus him in the lane, he's not gonna be on the lane. So what did you do? You accomplished nothing.
You might as well take something that's efficient at farming on the tower, like a Sven, for example.
Exactly. That's most likely your best bet, right? You pick something that's efficient under the tower, and that's about it.
And the problem with picking something like Sven here is you've got these 2 tanky off-lane components now, right? With the Darkseer and the Nyx. And you do get these scenarios where they can potentially dive. Nyx has a lot of base regen, a lot of armor to work with. He's not afraid to get under that tier 1.
I mean, when you see the Nyx and Darkseer, you're expecting them to be diving your tier 1. In between the tier 1 and tier 2, they're going to be there. They will be creep skipping the first wave and then just shoving the waves in, trying to harass you as much as possible. And once they hit that level 3, they'll go in for a kill. Usually that's how it goes. We'll see though, as PAVAGA Jr., they're yet to ban out anything in the second phase. They ban out that Jug. We talked about heroes that can farm under the tower. Jug is one of those. Troll, Nyx, Sven, those heroes also come to my mind. Sven would be decent for them, but all of these heroes find it difficult to match up against Nyx Assassin, as he just carapaces almost everyone, every single one of them. There's some AoE, right? Sven hitting the creeps, Nyx carapace. A Troll hitting Whirling Axes, Nyx carapace.
And of course, the Wyvern can't help you much, more of a defensive type of support. And
I need that meme. I need that meme made for me. I need that meme made for me. You know, like everyone, nothing. Nyx carapace. You know, I need that meme.
I mean, it's fitting. This is a supreme hero. Well, I shouldn't say supreme. There is a guy in this game called that. But it feels like the hero that solves any issue right now. Now, there was some arguments on this that Lycan might be a decent way of ignoring Nyx in games. Which is
they ban out the Raid King. It's interesting. It's also a hero that farms well under the tower, but it's a hero that suffers versus those shells, iron shells, pretty much. And there's mana burn on Nyx, which isn't really a thing that he has to worry about way too much. You just buy sticks and you'll be fine. But overall, yeah. They ban out the Raid King. They don't want to play against that hero. He is strong at the moment, at least.
They might be going for an extreme pick-off type lineup as well, right? Like we mentioned the Raid King. It's the perfect one if you're up against something like a Mars and you're worried about them just taking you from 100 to 0 before you can even react. Speaking of which, Mars is still in this match. He's potentially in this match.
Yep, Mars is still around. They can pick that Mars. Actually not being picked up, banned out at all. That's really weird. That's really interesting. That hero is... I mean, if you're a Hippomaniacs, you can put Sand King on 4 or Mars on 4, and it's still good. On the side of PAVAGA, though, you can't really pick Mars. Darkseer and Nyx, that's your 3 and 4 right there. Like, where do you put Mars? Mid? There are some players that do it, but I don't think it's good.
I think it can work if you go for the max out on God's Rebuke, right? Like, I think that's the usual way to go.
They ban out the Ursa, which makes me think they want an Anti-Mage or Nyx, perhaps. AM versus Darkseer is a trap that many people fall into. Because AM used to be one of the best heroes versus Darkseer. You just burn his mana, lol. But how do you burn his mana if he's not in the lane? That's the problem. That's problematic.
It's also interesting they get rid of the Ursa considering they have the Wyvern, which is considered to be the ultimate counter to things like the Troll and the Ursa.
And there you go,
and
that's the Mars. Yeah, so one of these two is going to be position 4. Either Mars or Sand King. Most likely Sand King, as he's more often played on 4. You're going to have that Wyvern on position 5 and then Mars on the offlane. And that's why the Ursa was banned out. There aren't many heroes that dominate Mars in the lane. The Jug has been banned out too, so it leaves you with, let's say, Nyx and, let's say, a Monkey King that can deal well with him. In the laning stage at least. Jakiro pick is really good. You have now Nyx, Darkseer and Jakiro. You're pretty much guaranteed to have a good teamfight if they don't have BKBs. So you're pretty much forcing them to get those BKBs. They cannot fight you if they don't.
Look at the laning phase as well, Liz. How do any of these heroes die? Like, in theory, they shouldn't. They're some of the most tanky heroes you can get your hands on.
Yeah, and they work well together too. And now Jakiro, as you said, very tanky. On one side you have Ice Dragon, on the other you have Fire and Ice, so it's obviously a win instantly. Like, professional analysis right here.
I mean, I don't know. It depends if this is more of like a Season 2 Fire and Ice or if this is like Season 8, in which case I'm out.
I see what you're talking about. But still, even in Season 8 that Ice Dragon got wrecked, so I don't know, man. Fire and Ice still stronger. In any case, we'll see what the next pick of Hippomaniacs is going to be. As they do have the last pick, this should be their carry. It's always good and safe to leave your midder for the last pick.
We've actually seen some weird pick orders, actually. We've seen a few teams here prioritizing the offlane as the farm pick, but you'd expect, like, both teams, it looks like they've got this filled. Do you I think there's been this trend recently in the meta to actually pick your mids first and leave your safe laners until last, right?
I mean, you can do that, but they won't.
Alright, let's go straight into lifesteal.
Yeah, like, he's hiding behind the shield, look. That shield is covering half of his face.
It's a preview, Liz, of what he's going to do in the game. He's going to crawl right inside Mars every time it gets a little bit...
They go with the Razor. I mean, overall, it's a decent pick for them as they do not have that last pick that we just talked about. So getting something strong versus many of these heroes is definitely good. You can put that Razor on the safe lane versus Mars. Later on, you can just put the dog Lifestealer on a leash and walk him around. Lifestealer can buy Radiance still to be effective even when leashed, but he's a hero that does not need the BKB as he has that Rage built in. So overall, I really like the Lifestealer. I like the Pavaga's answer with the Razor, but I still think that Nyx is a good pickup. Now, the problem for Hippomaniacs, they're playing versus Razor, so some of these mid picks have already become questionable. You can't pick whatever you want on mid, that's what I'm saying, as Razor can deal with some heroes. But you do have the benefit of last pick, so you'll know where the Razor is going, either safe lane or mid, right? So you can adapt to that. But you still can't risk it if both of these heroes that Pavaga pick right now, if their last pick is capable of going mid and safe lane, then you can't know for sure where Razor is.
In reality, though, if you do see this Razor go safe lane, you're kind of happy, actually, because you have that Mars that can instantly push you away and break the link, right?
I mean, he can at the same time. If he doesn't, you know, it's like...
Yeah, if he goes full Stormtrooper and misses every spear, then he's in trouble.
I mean, you're setting yourself up for trouble. It's easier for Razor to lane there, that's all I'm saying. He does not need the skill shot. Mars, yeah, spear is definitely easy to hit, but you still have to hit it.
And it looks like there's going to be a ban on the Morphling Hippomaniacs. They're suspecting what you just said. You get this hybrid scenario where you could actually have the Razor or the Morphling in either the safe or the mid. Whereas Hippomaniacs very clearly need a mid still. Now, what would work good against the Razor? Do you ban something like the Queen of Pain, maybe? Just get out of the way?
I mean, you have to be thinking about Queen of Pain, Mirana, right? Those heroes are good versus Razor and also are... decent midders overall for Hippomaniacs, midders that are active in the mid game. So Razor, Queen of Pain, I'm sorry, Mirana, Queen of Pain. Then what else comes to my mind? Well, that's what comes to my mind. Sniper, obviously.
Okay.
Sniper would be good too, yeah. I mean, Sniper is really greedy, that's the problem. But
yeah, especially with a lifesteal already in your lineup.
Exactly, so he's good, but It could be problematic to lane that to play after the lane with that sniper. And now Sven is picked up. You definitely know that Razor is mid, and you're most likely thinking about either a Quap or the Mirana. Both of these heroes can be caught by Nyx Assassin and his Carapace from Invis. Mirana used to be, like when Mirana would buy Aghanims, Nyx used to be really strong versus her. They go with the Quap. I mean, realistically, you have two options. You don't have many more. We're not like I'm not like some god that knows the draft in future.
No, shut up. Big it up.
I won't build myself up and say that I almost called every single pick in this game so far.
Ooh.
But I'll say that Queen of Pain is definitely like
flex for me, maybe.
An obvious pick. Like they just pick her to deal with Ergon's Razor, and that's it.
It makes sense, and it could be that you do potentially have the means to pick off members of PAVAGA, but they seem to have gone for a classic kind of pub strat, right? Yeah. If we're all tanky, no one dies, because you actually look at PAVAGA's lineup. Where's their squishy component, right? Whereas you look at HIPPOMANIACS, you can pick off the Quap or the Wyvern pretty easily.
10 seconds remaining.
So an interesting strategy from PAVAGA, trying to make themselves unkillable in terms of HP.
On PAVAGA, you're going to have Sven, who's farming really fast, much faster than Kari's Lifestealer, coming online much sooner. And then you have Darkseer with Surge to make him come online even sooner, because he doesn't need any mobility items. But he is playing versus Saberlight's Mars, and that Mars is going to put up that big shield of his, just like you called it before, and try to tank it all up. Is it easy to do against Sven? Definitely not, but they do have the heroes that are going to enable them to just let Lifestealer farm, and then come online a little bit later. That Radiance is also very problematic for Nyx if he builds it, because of the fact that he's playing versus Nyx. Nyx can also just Carapace the Radiance. So maybe Nyx goes for an earlier build, but if he does that, then again he has Queen of Pain on mid, and they scale well super late game if they go like that, but not in the mid game. So yeah, let's wait and see. Let's see what happens.
And that's exploitable. As you mentioned before, Sven, one of those heroes that can just easily farm up because of his passive and build into items that allow him to go more kind of tempo aggressive in the mid game.
It looks like we were right about position 3 Mars and position 4 Zenny on his Sand King. While on the other side we're going to see the Razor played by Ergon mid, Xi'an just playing this Jakiro on position 5, and on the offlane Darkseer and Nyx, just as expected. We have a guy with Greek letters in his name. That should be, I don't know what that should be.
Please,
Pati
translate.
Duarara.
Natudo o Papa.
Duyarara, something like that.
I'm going to go with Natudo o Papa.
No, that's not.
I'm going to call him Papa.
Diurara, something
No,
like
it's
that.
Papa.
Dude, trust me. Trust me on this.
If you look at it quickly, it looks like it says Naruto Papa.
No.
I know you're not a big fan of the anime.
No. Just no.
I prefer Darkseer's name.
No,
that's a much better name.
No animes allowed. Let me win, please. At least he's asking nicely.
I mean, he's upfront about what he wants in life, you know.
Let's see these runes. It might get interesting. On top lane we have Sand King and the Spear from Mars.
The battle begins.
And nice move by Simon. It actually says, I'm going to just take your rune instead. There's nothing I can do to stop that either.
Exactly, like, very well played. Sven took a lot of damage, but he's a Sven, he's a tanky boy. And Sand King, as well, has a lot of regen to work with, so should be fine. Let's see, on the offlane, the other side we have Darkseer and Nyx Assassin. Not creep skipping, actually. Deciding to play the lane instead.
Kind of surprising there. I wouldn't say Wyvern and Lifesteal are most threatening at level 1.
Yeah, they definitely could have creep skipped, but instead they want to threaten the lane in this way.
I guess it's because they're against a melee hero that can punish with these Iron Shells so easily, as we're already seeing.
I'm not really certain. It's level 1 Iron Shell, so you're not going to punish him way too hard, at least. And it's a Nyx. He will heal under the tower. Let's see. Yeah, he's not really suffering way too much. He's getting all the lasted so far too.
They've changed their mind. They went, okay, that wasn't an effective strategy. We'll just move past the tower, we'll take the creep wave, we'll stack it up, get a double wave going maybe.
Exactly. This is usually what you do. I'm surprised they didn't start off like that. Any case, on top lane, Zenny on his Sand King got very, very low.
He has no regen
50
either.
HP. Yeah, I mean, it's the problem of playing versus this two-headed dragon. He just deals with anyone very easily. And he, you know what? Speaking of regen, he has no like regen used. He gave 2 tangos mid, and that's it. Like, he's super fine. And he
Definitely one of the better heroes of trading in the support category right now. And Muff is trying to frustrate them a little bit here, but...
Yeah, he's doing alright. He's forcing the Nyx to be here and not under the tower. So, as long as the two of them are here, no one is harassing Kari as he's farming under the tower. So I think overall that's a small victory for Radiant, for our Hippomaniac boys.
Meanwhile, top Saberlight is going to try and pull through the creep wave, just trying to punish Simon a little bit as well with the Bar Strike through, doing a lot of damage. Forces him away.
Yeah, almost any other support just gets wrecked there, but Jakiro survives as he's 740 HP this early on. Very tanky.
Very reasonable.
Very, very reasonable. He does have 2 heads, so need more HP.
That explains Ogre as well.
Exactly.
It's just a theme. You have 2 heads, you automatically get more health. It's like a less crazy version of Heroes of Storm.
On the mid lane, by the way, Queen of Pain having only 5 CS versus 10 on Razor. So even though Queen of Pain is considered to be really strong versus Razor, he's been doing so well so far. Yeah, that link does not work. As you can see, he just blinks away.
But you seem to get enough damage that like, he's gone for double point static link as well, so he knows that's enough damage to decide CSing.
Yeah, like he steals 12 damage before she blinks out, which is alright, 14 actually.
Maps is hard.
So, I mean, yeah, 14 is alright, but overall what that does at the same time is it makes you farm the jungle a bit slower, so he won't have a comeback mechanic. If they gank him a couple of times, it's going to be very difficult for this Razor to just go and farm the camps.
And they definitely have heroes that can do that. Wyvern can slow you from afar, and then Sanking can get close enough to just, well, close the lid on your coffin.
It's the classic pincer movement, right? I mean, we might see it around minute 5 when the bounty rune spawn and when it's nighttime, most importantly. Top lane.
Seni should be able to move away. He might have to mango, though, if he's not careful.
Yeah, that block from his teammate Saberlight as well.
He earned the right to do it, okay? The spear saved his life in the first place. He said, get out of here.
He was just trying to put his shield up front and protect him.
Just phalanxing, as you'd expect. I think the theme here in Greece. They might actually get aggressive on a Sven here, but the Warcry was used just in time. They'll pin him against the wall, but they have to back away. They did force Nyx to hang him up here, so Papa has arrived.
I think this is good rotation by DOTA.
Seni, he doesn't have the man to escape, and they have a sentry down, so they'll draw first blood. Simon gets it.
At the same time on mid lane, that's what we were talking about. One Winter Wyvern rotated in, and Supreme gets the kill. So even though this Razor is winning in CS, he shouldn't be winning in gold any longer, as Queen of Pain is like a little bit ahead with that kill, definitely.
Nice rotation from the Wyvern. Not really a hero known for early rotations, but as we said, there are potential pincer moves at work. Razor's the type of hero. It's kind of... It's a square-up type person, right? The moment he has to like, back away, it's basically, when you think about it, it's like Mars. If he's looking at you, he feels confident. The moment he turns his back, he's going to feel the full pain. He's not a good hero at retreating in the lane.
I mean, he can retreat as long as he's static linking at the same time. But he isn't. He's just taking way too much damage from Queen of Pain, and this is the moment that I talked about. It's minute 5, he has level 3 unstable current, but no levels in Plasma Field, which makes it a little bit slower for him to farm the jungle.
Well, that juicy mana goes to waste. Meanwhile, Saberlight was being chased on too. There are 3 heroes he'll back away, gets the rune, and there should be a Stormhammer coming out. We'll move across. Sven, true to his name, will KS. He earned it. They're going to turn around on Seni next. He has got the Burrow Strike though. Urgon came as well, but won't be able to find anything. They'll pick up the rune. Supreme has arrived.
Yep.
And they might find a kill on the Papa here. He's cornered. Nice stun onto 2 coming out. They should be able to reach with the stun. The slow's a little bit slow to come out itself. Seni moving in. Level 1 Burrow Strike. But he won't be able to get him.
Yeah, he won't get him. Nyx is fine. Gets away on the high ground and should go home now. Overall, did he get that bounty, or is it 3 runes for 3 runes for Hippomaniacs, 1 rune for our Pavaga boys? Yeah, overall, the laning stage, let's see, Sven having a decent time on his lane, Nyx as well, completely uncontested. I mean, Darkseer is also farming really well, but Kari, he has his Midas completed. He actually rushed it. He has the recipe in the courier flying over to him right now.
Definitely something you can exploit. If you know you're not being pressured in your lane, then you can actually just opt to not even bother with the boots. I mean, you're a life stealer. For about the next 4 or 5 minutes, all you're going to do is exist in the lane. Life feels good when you're a carry.
Exactly. Usually you go for phase boots if you are actually contesting the lane versus someone. But if you aren't, if Darkseer isn't even there, there's absolutely no necessity for you to buy phase boots. Instead, you just go for Midas and you continue farming. Sven is actually going for Magic Wand into Echo Saber, so no Power Shreds into Midas. He wants to be online as soon as possible, and I can't blame him. He needs to be. With that Queen of Pain and Ix against him, and Razor struggling on mid lane, he can't really afford to be the one that goes Midas and goes late.
Do you ever notice that Curry just looks like he misspelled carry?
Yeah, I mean, it
makes sense that he's the boss one, really.
maybe he likes curry.
Maybe he likes people to feed him.
Yeah. He wants to be the food, but...
Well, that's the debate. With a name like that, you can't resist but chase him.
Exactly, it's a debate. It's all just a big bait by Mr. Curry. Razor dropped very low in that jungle. 46 HP running back to
Dire's
base.
bottom tower is under
It's
attack.
okay. You know, it's not like it's odd for you to be losing against creeps here. I don't think they were even stacked either. They were just normal creeps getting him that low and forcing back to base. And he moved out at the right time as Muff was rotating through the jungle.
Queen of Pain pressuring middle. Nyx is trying to keep the pressure away, at least pull the creeps, but so far not really super successful at that.
This is the good news about this mid matchup, though. Like, Queen of Pain is not really a hero that punishes your towers the moment you get out of lane. You can shove, but that's as good as it really gets.
You can shove and then you can rotate, that's the thing. She's not really good at pushing the tower, but she's very, very mobile, and you can take a rune and rotate, which she did already once unsuccessfully, but the possibility is definitely there.
Possibilities are indeed endless. Meanwhile, bot lane, Arena has been committed, and that is a very confused and lost Darkseer. They'll show him his way to his fountain, though.
Yeah, it's a position 3 that rotated to get that Darkseer kill. 303 gold going to Saberlight, which
Top.
is definitely good.
Moving in, stun's coming out. Senny looks to escape, but he's burnt up already. Ice Papa by a little bit of time. One more
hit.
he'll do it. They'll get the kill.
Yeah, he couldn't really get out there. KS didn't manage to KS this time around. That Xi'an did get it. But it's a good kill for them. So Senny falls on one side, on the other PAVAGA lose their Darkseer. That Darkseer is actually moving towards that mech very fast. He only needs 450 gold more. 500 actually.
And then we should maybe see some stacks up with the Jakiro and the Razor to start pushing onto towers. Is that type of lineup that can run at you.
Yeah, you're going to have the vacuum into the ice pat, into the Nyx stun.
Tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, DD was used in the mid lane. They'll use it to push on this tower. They even rotate 2 more heroes in. The tier 1 should fall, and this will open up the jungle for HIPPOMANIACS to get more aggressive on this Razor that is arguably, well, I don't think even arguably, still in recovery
Tower has fallen.
from a rough start to the lane. A deceptive one, actually. Meanwhile, this is one of the big advantages of having this Wyvern support. You can already see he's in
Look
the
at
most
Jakiro,
threatening
look
lane.
at Xi'an. Where are you running to, my dear, dear dragon?
He's running on his way to Valhalla, the Hall of Heroes, where he will be welcomed with open arms.
And what about
And so
Sven?
will Sven. He'll go for the TP away, though. Should be able to make it, but nope. There's the Arena commit with the Sonic Wave. They get the kill, and they should find Simon as well. The Barrow Strike through gets the kill.
They take down both of them. Sven was pretty much just a bonus kill, as they weren't even certain where he was. Queen of Pain was just pincering around to deny the Jakiro an opportunity to escape, and instead finds an even better kill in that Sven. And right now, when you look at it that way,
Radiant's middle
HIPPOMANIACS
tower
are
is
doing
under
a
attack.
really good job on the lanes, taking down Sven, zoning out Razor from the lane, killing that Darkseer as well.
Nice move by Kari. Snatched their Rune away off. They took one from his, but look at this. Ergon's going to come in with the Surge on him. There's going to be a TP away. This is the problem. You already used your stun. He'll get out.
I mean, he has Rage, so even if you do have that stun, you aren't stopping him.
Exactly.
They have no spells that go through mid lane, Jakiro. They have spells that go through dragons, though. Maybe no spells that go through Magic Community, but they have spells that go through dragons. And Xi'an dies once again to Sand King and Queen of Pain this time.
Some Dragon Slayer magic coming out from HIPPOMANIACS. Allows them to get that kill, and all the while
Top
Saberlight
lane,
pushing on the
Saberlight.
top. They're going to TP in now. God Strength's been used. They already stunned him up once. They'll stun him up again. Mars needs an escape plan. He has got enough for a spear. He doesn't want to throw it out yet because of the Spike Carapace. Nice pin onto the Sven. Barely connects.
Actually perfect, though.
And, oh, there's an Impale. There's going to be mana. Chasing forward. Saberlight needs to sidestep this, but the Vendetta is going to be used instead. He said, help me, please. Senny is waiting.
There's
they have a sentry down.
Yeah, he's fine. Should be fine. Runs to the tower.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
Nyx Assassin can still follow, but there's a port. There's a TP
Well,
out.
the good news is that that sentry was just out of range, so it didn't actually spot the ward that was placed down by PAVAGA. So the Belarusians get some vision behind the tower that won't be spotted out. And Seni will never think to look there either.
I think they're all Belarusians, though. Some of them are. I'm not certain.
Well, they're representing Belarus, so.
All right. Yeah, then they're Belarusians. That's how we're going to call them. It's fine.
You can call them PAVAGA, though. I mean, it is the team's name. See, we're no longer nationalities. We've got HIPPOMANIACS versus PAVAGA.
There's some controversy now with their name as well, the way they're being called in different countries.
The Belarusians.
Yeah. So because basically Belo on Russian is white.
Okay.
So they're pretty much called White Russians in some countries.
It's a good drink.
Yeah, it's definitely a good drink.
Don't see the problem. You're basically being called tasty.
Yeah.
Push you on the bot lane. They're actually trying to bait someone to respond because Saberlight is waiting in the tree line. Perfectly just caved. The problem is Nyx did spawn him out. Has the Vendetta at 15.
What's the mix in White Russian? What do you get in it?
There's vodka.
And more vodka?
And any good Russian joke has that in it.
Alright, bottom lane we have the Surge on Ergon.
Pin coming out on the Razor, going to move in. The Sonic Wave is available again. They'll just pin through Razor and kill him off straight away. Next in the hit list is Darkseer. The Ice Path, way too late to assist. The Power Strike through connects on the Nyx as well. He's got the Spike Carapace and the Vendetta to escape. They can't find him. Yeah,
they surged straight into their death. The Razor and the Darkseer. I believe that they have a really strong combination of heroes, but they have to play better when it comes to comboing those spells. You can't just rush in and with 50% HP as well. You just die afterwards, so... you have to combo your Ice Path with the Vacuum properly, perhaps even get the Sven and the Nyx there. There's so much damage from them if they just initiate properly.
Muff instantly had his smoke fail there. As
we might see a Courier Snatch on mid, but they're pinging him out. They know.
Yeah, they know because he broke the smoke straight away. He can't find it.
Yeah, but they didn't move the Courier any different way. Yeah,
his Vendetta just ran out. That's on cooldown for 45 seconds. They can punish this.
Winter's Curse is there. They can catch
they should be able to use it. I don't think they even need it though. Supreme move across. Spike Carapace, missed time, so it doesn't catch the Scream, it catches the dagger.
He's still dead.
Yep.
He's not escaping this.
No escape. Only death. And Supreme will get a pretty easy kill there. He did go for the Yules, as you mentioned. It just came up.
Hey, I didn't mention that.
Well, you did when you said he used him.
Alright.
So technically that counts.
That counts, alright. I didn't mention that he did get
You
the
were
Yules,
ahead of the narrative.
which is usually a very defensive item.
We don't see it very often on Queen of Pains.
It helps you with catch, so if you can't take down targets, if they try to port in front of your nose, that Yules is also good for that.
It is very useless defensively though, right?
Defensively in this game there are no silences, so it's very useless. But it gives you some mana regen, I guess. It gives you time to reset for your Blink.
More control for the Razor as well.
For Sven, for Razor, it's offensively it's much stronger in this match than it is defensively.
Also, there is the fact that Razor is heading towards an ATOS, made obvious by his double crown.
There you go. There you go. That's why.
So some value's found. Muff spotted placing his wards. Nyx always just screwing up his opportunities to move around. And the Winner's Curse being used for nothing. And Saberlight is pinged out as well. He's got TP, but now nowhere using it. They spot him. The arena's going to be thrown down. He needs to move away from the Darkseer, but vacuumed up to the high ground. He'll say, okay, I'll just TP out. The problem is Nyx sees everything. Stun and the Ice Path are there, and soon Saberlight no longer will be. He tries to break, does get out the static link. Beautifully done. He's going to look to move away. Reinforcements are coming right now. Saberlight has got the spear in 6 more seconds. They put down the wall, but they don't care. They'll just retreat. Impale off the mark, jump in. Seni, now the Sonic Wave through, doing a lot of damage, but not enough to kill him off. Spear off the mark. Seni is revealed in his own Sandstorm, will fall. Now they need to get out. Saberlight is still pretty low.
He might die here as well.
Yeah, he is. He's going to stack up with the Eye of the Storm. Muff needs to assist, but he can't. Saberlight will fall. And now Muff needs to get the hell out of dodge.
Yeah, maybe they could have used Cold Embrace there, but I'm fairly certain
he was pretty dead.
Yeah, he dies in any case. So they lose the Sand King and the Mars when it looked like Mars could have just survived if he ran.
Yeah, they didn't need to go for the big Sonic. I mean, it's tempting, right? You see 4 heroes like Sonic Wave would be great.
They tried to turn, but it backfired.
And you know the mech is available in the Darkseer. Yeah. That's the other thing. It's not new news to you.
Yeah. Sven on the top lane isn't really phased by the Queen of Pain jumping on him. He's fine. Doesn't even lose almost any of his HP by this Shadow Strike. Can go back to farm. Yep.
The Guarding Greaves will be available soon. The Darkseer is getting ever closer. The ATOS is actually there now. Yeah. So Razor can look to make some moves, and he sees a Wyvern on the mid lane.
Kari is actually going for that right rebuild. He's not going for anything such as Radiance that we talked about. He's going for Midas into Armut and Desolator next. I mean, fairly good build versus Sven. You can take him down and deal with his huge armor and just tank ability.
in this type of game as well. Like, you know you have a net worth lead, you want to push it. They're pushing onto the Jakiro here. He gets caught out in the river. Ice Path gets dodged out by Supreme. Saberlight is here, and the arena goes down, but he doesn't connect with the Sven. So all they get is Simon, who will die, but the Virus Strike follow-up might allow him to get a kill on Ergon. They charge up the epicenter. They pin him against the tree, and they say, watch this.
They are picking out Sven, but there is a surged up Darks here coming to connect and help. Nyx Assassin also invis running around.
Yeah, but no easy target for him. Mars or Lifesteal, a little bit too tanky for them to deal with.
Yeah, sadly for him, no easy target to just impale, no Radiance on that Lifestealer to start off with the Carapace that
this
is.
one, however.
Muff, however, exactly. But there is Sand King around, and he's
Muff
alone.
is dying. Like, they know he's here. Stun's going to come out. Spike Carapace as well to stop them actually defending him. But in the end, the sticks are enough.
Yeah, with the sticks, he's able to run away, and as Carapace retreats, as the spikes go in, he can't really continue anymore because there's a chance of Sand King initiating on him instead. So Nyx backs out. Overall, PAVAGA Gaming and HIPPOMANIACS, they aren't too far apart. 7k ahead for HIPPOMANIACS right now. But some of these items that are coming online for PAVAGA are going to enable them to fight. Ergon with his Atos, and Sven, once he gets that SMY that he's building into, I believe, honestly, I don't even know what they're waiting for. I believe they're very strong at the moment. With the tankiness that Darkseer provides them with and Warcry, I believe they could be looking at... They could be winning fights at the moment, even.
They should be looking towards objectives.
Yeah,
it just feels like HIPPOMANIACS are being given a free mid-game. And they even find a pick-off. Nyx is seen a little bit too deep, pays a price.
Yeah, they were smoked up actually behind him. They tried to get a fight, and this is very problematic. Usually, you can see these signs of weaknesses on teams when they try to smoke up, but the hero that they're connecting to dies already. He's a little bit too eager to start something off, and I can't blame him. He tried to get that Wyvern. He had a few missed opportunities because his teammates were not there, so he's a little bit too eager to start things off right now, and he gets punished on the mid lane.
And as a result, they can't make a move. As a result, this big window where they've got that Atos is feeling wasted. They need to start making some plays, and they're trying to Supreme here. Ice Path off the mark. They'll actually vacuum into it. Follow stun up. Fire Strike won't save the day, though, and instead, it just puts Senny in the grave as well. As the dust reveals him, he has nowhere to run and nowhere to hide.
He's trying, though.
Who they're going to give it to? They're going to give it Ergon.
So they killed the Queen of Pain and the Sand King. This is what I was talking about. This team, right now, they need to realize how strong they are. Perhaps with these kills, that will get to their heads, right? Perhaps now they'll start pushing and forcing things, as it's the best situation. And you know what? Like, Nyx isn't going to buy a BKB. Queen of Pain going for that Orchid. So I think Queen of Pain, instead of that Yules, if she had like Orchid into BKB, maybe that would have been even better for her. Nyx?
He's in trouble. He's dead, in fact.
No.
Oh, the Warcry and the Surge. Nope, the Splinter Blast still gets him.
Maybe he should have let it connect with the Carapace at least earlier.
It's true.
Instead, there's a smoke up. There's Senny with his Blink Dagger as well.
They're ready
infested
to
by the Nyx, and they're definitely ready to fight. There is Godstrand, though.
Still, you have a lot of damage with the epicenter, with the arena. And Senny jumps in. There's the Infest Bomb on the Darkseer. The Ice Path won't protect him as the spear impales his face.
Yeah, they just take him down so fast.
And Simon, they're going to chase onto him as well. They have the open wounds to work with, and he has nowhere to run. He's got a TP. If he wants to go, it has to be right now. They look the wrong way. Senny, Burrow Strike on point, though. And KS is still here. Sven didn't leave. He didn't have a TP.
Yeah, they barely catch him, but they do catch him. He doesn't have a TP, but he does have that Calling Blade. Oh,
it's going to reveal to Senny for a moment.
Yeah, because Carapace was off point, sadly. That was so unfortunate for them. The Carapace he used the Carapace way too soon.
Senny will blink away before they can kill him.
And they can punish
this. You did see him with the sentry.
However, they're doing Grosh. And Ergon, does he have a TP? He does. They know with the scan. There is a Desolator. If they want to defend this, they have to be really quick about it.
And Senny's already waiting for them to come on through.
I mean,
there it is, stun on to the Nyx.
So
he
close.
sees him, but they can't get the Impale out as they get stunned up.
Actually, it did go out.
Oh, yep. Now the Spike Carapace is going to be used as well. Looks like the Vacuum Wall into 2. The arena makes it hard for them to retreat, though. Sven down to half HP already, trying to chase him through. Warcry will keep Nyx alive, but won't do the same for Sven. And Nyx will join him in the grave as they chase through into Ergon as well. Looks like they should be able to pin him up against the wall here. They have got the Spirit coming off cooldown in 4 seconds and enough control to ensure the Razor falls.
Yeah, HIPPOMANIACS just being there in position on time, and that's it. PAVAGA Juniors, I mean, at this point, they are strong, but they need to wait for everyone. They are too eager to fight and to go into fights one by one. And if you do that, like, your lineup is useless. They need to enable this Sven. They need to surge him up. They need to vacuum into ice pad so that he can actually hit targets. But if he runs in first, he just dies. They control him with all the stuns that they've got, and then there's absolutely nothing for him to do. Also, if you noticed at the start of that fight, which was really interesting, Burrow Strike and Impale, they went out in the same time, in the same tick, basically, and they stunned each other. So even though the Impale is the Burrow Strike is the only thing we saw, because they were on top of each other.
Yeah,
in the
it
spikes.
overlapped.
Yeah, they overlapped, but yeah.
Remarkable DOTA interactions. And it was weird as well, because it looked like it was on his bar. It didn't look like it went on cooldown, but yeah, then 2 seconds later it was on cooldown and he hadn't thrown out the stun. Interesting
It
interaction.
didn't look like he completed the hit, definitely, because he lifted up his arms and then...
Yeah, it looked like Senny perfectly timed it to just exploit it to the maximum, but in the end, they stun each other. The outcome, though, is still favorable for the side of HIPPOMANIACS, especially courtesy of Mars, proving why this hero is usually banned so often. And he is headed for the Blink Dagger next. Not too far off it either. Not looking too shabby. And with the Orchid now complete on Supreme, they can continue to get aggressive. They do have a sentry down, so if Papa Nix comes a little bit too far forward, they'll lop off his head.
Let's see what he's about to do. He's just wasting this Vendetta. It's not going to find anyone.
And it's still only a level 1 Vendetta.
Yeah, he needs that level 12. It helps out with cooldown a lot. It goes from 90 to 70. 20 seconds of cooldown is not a small thing. One of the ways Nyx Assassin was nerfed in the last patch was with the cooldown increase. Basically, his level 2 cooldown is now 70, and it was level 1 cooldown before, right? So
Yeah, it needed to be rescaled. It was a little bit too potent.
yeah, the hero is just way too strong. The Carapace is the reason why he's strong, but you know how
Why
Dota
nerf
works.
the strengths
Yeah,
when you could try and
exactly.
exploit the weaknesses?
Exactly, that's how Dota pretty much works. That's how we balance this game. So I like that. I would love to see that remain. However, Saberlight and his Mars, I think this hero has to be balanced a little bit too. He's just, I mean, top pick for many of these teams. I'm surprised he's going through the banning phase, actually.
I think some people are arguing for like Arena deactivating if he walks out of it, sort of thing, because it
Yeah.
feels like you can't nerf Spear. That's the core
No,
concept.
I
of the hero.
definitely agree with that. If you go out of Arena, it cancels. I mean, it does make sense. There are different spells that work the same way, like Monkey King's ulti, right? If he walks out, it's gone. So why not do the same for Mars?
Speaking of Mars, does now have the Blink Dagger, and they're trying to set up for a push on this tier 2 bot. They have enough heroes here. Nyx has been spotted, silenced up as well. You can pick up a double invis, but it wouldn't change the outcome as the Sonic Wave kills him off. They're moving through, they're invading, they're looking to try and exploit this. They assume the Nyx is there, he must be setting up for something, but...
Queen of Pain
he
also building towards that BKB, by the way, that we talked about. They definitely need, like, in my opinion, this is how this game should have ran. PAVAGA Juniors, they should have dominated this game until Queen of Pain gets BKB, and once she gets that BKB, they try to go back into the game and win it, just because they become very strong. They get that power spike to fight against Jakiro's, Nyx, Sven, Stun, and Vacuum. But so far, PAVAGA Junior, they've struggled to initiate properly. They've struggled to use their strengths, as they've been picked apart, dissected one by one on different sides of teamfights, if even in the same teamfight, as many of them just die before the teamfight even starts.
However, you are at a stage where...
Look at
What
this,
was that
Vacuum
for?
used,
Vacuum?
30 seconds cooldown.
What now? Because there's Arena down, and now you're in trouble. I don't know what this move was. They're going to get him low. Gun Greaves won't keep him alive. They're stacking a lot of damage on Ergon with BKB active. Looking on the lifesteal, they're trying to stun him up long enough. They might be able to bring him down. But the Winner's Curse is going to save the day. He looks to move away, but he's stuck here for so damn long. He just gets out of range, and he'll be able to move off. Meanwhile, Nyx getting pretty low. There's going to be a blink away by Queen of Pain as the Gold Strength been used. They'll get the kill onto the Nyx, force the buyback straight away. Stun comes out to Wyvern, down to half HP already. Sven to chase through. Ergon, though, taking a lot of damage from Saberlight. The Aegis has been claimed. Supreme now full HP, ready to fight again. Ergon will go down the stun through onto Sven. He has no easy escape. The Ice Path buys him a few seconds, but all he can do is stand and fight. Nice stun on the free, but the Cold Embrace saves the day, and they kill him off. Nyx will finally arrive. You're a little bit too late to the fight, though, buddy. Papa, where you been?
Yeah, he tried to...
Oh,
maybe?
No. No, now Curry's just going to turn around you. You may have made a mistake, because that's going to be a dieback.
Yeah, that's unstoppable on Curry.
And look at mid. It's already pushing in with a catapult.
And they have the Carty there to help them, as you just noticed. Saberlight is going to start attacking this tier 3. Nyx is coming in too. Yeah, this is very difficult for them. This is a very difficult situation. And as once again, just as I was talking about it, it happens again. They start this fight without...
Oh, they found the darks here. I don't know if I can get him low enough, though. He should have the Guarding Greaves coming off cooldown. There it is.
I understand why Darkseer started the fight the way he did. He wanted to catch them and just try to make them turn, right? To try and make them fight him.
Yeah. But the weird part is they're not near your base and the Aegis runs out soon, right?
The thing is, like, first, yeah, you can wait for that Aegis to run out. Second thing is the way you do it. Like, that's not the way. That is not the way, you know?
Show me the way.
I'll show you the way. The way you do it is you run into them like a bloody fool. You have Force, you have Greaves, and then you hope that they catch the bait, you know, that they take the bait, and then you try to survive for a bit longer. And then when your team arrives, then you use your combo. Because that vacuum is 30 seconds of a cooldown, you can't just throw it around the way he did. They need their combos. They can still win, but they need to calm down and use their combos properly, because HIPPOMANIACS, they're picking them apart in these fights. It shouldn't be happening.
That was the oddity, because he just kind of ran in. It's like, all right, guys, look, there's two. We can vacuum them together. And while it's a good place for a wall, it's not the right time.
Maybe you could argue for it if Lifestealer has Radiance, but he doesn't. LS has AC right now. So, yeah, catching him in that vacuum wall is good, but you need to follow it up properly. You need your teammates around you.
We saw how much they tried to commit just to kill off the Queen of Pain, who is almost unkillable at this stage. 2k HP, a BKB, and a Yules to boot. It's not an easy fight.
Yeah, maybe they're even too late for this action, to be honest. Zenny, he has his Veil. Move is just level 14. He's moving towards his Glimmer Cape. He has it almost. There's a BKB on Queen of Pain that we talked about. The pipe is completed on Mars, so he's super tanky in these fights. I think they missed their timings. Sven isn't really dealing way too much damage any longer in these fights either. He's building towards his BKB, but
it feels like now they're in a state of hunker down. They actually have to buy time until they get their power spikes again with these type of heroes. With the Sven, for example.
This is how I feel. To this point, their team fight was simple, but they didn't execute the simple things. Right now, they have to outplay them. It's no longer straightforward. We vacuum, we ice pat, we stun with Nyx and Sven, we clean them up. It's no longer like that. Right now, it's much more difficult. Right now, you have to worry about Winter's Curse. Like, how do you get on top of Winter Wyvern?
And HIPPOMANIACS, they know this as well. That's why they're staying pretty stacked as they move into the base. They'll
Yeah,
take
and they
out
just
the
take that double damage on Nyx with the AC and Desolator.
Sven.
Instantly gone.
He's got TP coming off cooldown. Supreme's not going to try for it, though, interesting enough, even with the Yules.
Yeah.
Might have been worth it, though, because if you at least force a BKB charge out, I mean, that's Sven's 10-second BKB.
Yeah. I mean, he probably didn't know exactly where he was porting from, and because of that, he didn't go in for the kill. We're going to see another smoke coming from PAVAGA Juniors. This is...
Mars is pretty far forward, actually.
Mars instantly TPs, actually.
Away. Yeah.
Queen of Pain has that BKB to work with. Can they catch her? They show the Razor. I'm not certain he noticed him, though. They do see the problem is Sven is up front. He can't be up front. Nyx has to be up front.
Yeah, it's not an easy kill on either the Lifestealer or the Queen of Pain.
Queen of Pain is running into them.
Yep, Queen of Pain breaks the smoke and will blink away. And now Kari, protected by the Rage. He's going to look at the Nyx. Oh no, 5 taps and he's gone. 5-tap wonder.
They can still maybe fight here if they manage to use the vacuum
Yules
properly.
onto Sven. Arena has been committed, but the Spear off the mark. The BKBs come out and now they're ready to fight. Sonic Wave pushes them away though. In the ice path they go with the vacuum. Stuns up. Only onto one. Supreme will blink away. Saberlight is protected though. The Winner's Curse is down. And actually Sven just taking a lot of damage. They're going to surge him away, keep him alive with the Guardian Greaves. Meanwhile behind Sen, he snipes out Simon. Will give his life for this though, as Ergon has a lot of stolen damage.
There you go. You see, like, even in the worst case scenario for them, when Nyx Assassin dies first, if they are together there, at least to combo Sven Stun and Darkseer, they still fight well. That's the only thing they were missing. That's it. They found what they need to do. Now, can they do it multiple times in a row? Yeah, that's the question.
I mean, the bigger concern is these are the big BKB charges. This is when you expect it to be a bit easier. If these fights drag out 5-6 seconds, which they can with the Arena, with the Winner's Curse, then you're in trouble.
Oh, definitely. As Sven does not have that built-in BKB, he had to buy his own and he's losing charges. He's on 9 seconds now, which isn't terrible, but Nyx does not care about that. He has his BKB built in. He just needs to wait like 12 seconds of cooldown and he goes back in. And that same Nyx isn't waiting anything when it comes to Roshan. He's straight into the pit, has Dezo, has AC, hits super hard. And look at PAVAGA, they're not ready to fight this. They're just hiding in their base at the moment. I don't believe they have any more smokes left too. Maybe on Jakiro? Yeah, 2 more smokes on Jakiro.
Okay.
That's very slow movement.
He's stockpiling them.
Yeah. This is very slow from them. They aren't doing anything at the moment. And That's Aegis, that's Cheese in Queen of Pain, Aegis in your Nyx. I even think that Queen of Pain could have taken that Aegis, because this Nyx, let's be real, it's very hard to kill him at the moment.
Yeah, he's definitely not the entrance kill, and if he does somehow die, your whole fight is already crumbled. It's not like you have an escape plan after that. They do have a get-in fast plan, though. Saberlight ready to blink in with the Infest bomb.
There you go,
and the Bane with the co-op. They go in, the Arena catches on the floor. The BKB comes from Ergon, but Nick's in trouble. Winner's Curse going to go down to protect against the cleave. The Ice Path is there, though. Trying to get through them quick enough. Curry held on the spot, stands his ground, find into them. Meanwhile, the BKB still active. Sven trying for the kill, but Sonic Wave comes through. The Aegis has been killed. Off. Can they find more is the real question. Mars going to go down. Lifestealer up to fight again. Trying to move forward. Yule's going to come out onto the Sven. Now they're moving in. They got the open wounds. They'll use it onto him. But the Surge gets him away. He's going to be safe. He's silenced up. He can't turn around for a stun opportunity. But now Senny goes a little bit too deep. Kyro will protect with the Rage activated. But the Ice Path comes out and Sand King in trouble. He gets stunned up. Chain stunned, in fact. Struggling to get out. Force staff down the low ground. Atos means he can't escape, though. Vacuum back up because where you going? To me, to you, occurring just outside the base as they find 2 critical kills and they get rid of the Aegis.
Yeah, they lose the Raxes on mid lane because the creeps were pushing in, but still this is a very good fight for them. HIPPOMANIACS, to be honest, the reason they lost that fight so convincingly is because Sand King was dead. He was running from the bottom lane towards the top lane, so he wasn't even close when that happened. Queen of Pain got initiated on, which is the reason why everyone else started fighting with her. They had the Aegis, right, and the Cheese to work with. They lost the Cheese and the Aegis now. So they don't have that benefit any longer. They just missed a huge opportunity to easily close this game out. Instead, they get picked off and they fight 4 versus 5. Or 5 versus 5, considering that they had the Aegis.
I guess they wanted to prove to you why Lifestealer needed the Aegis, Liz.
Yep.
And that they did. But they aren't going to be deterred. They infest, they get ready to go again. Arena is once again off cooldown.
Yeah, I think Sand King is even a better...
Ergon. They see him. BKB comes out, will just TP away. They have no way of stopping that.
No Basher. Yeah, Curry is actually going for that Lincoln Sphere instead. No Basher on him. I really think Sand King is a better infest target. Just wait for that Sand King to be up. Now it's the other way around. Now these guys are too eager to make these moves that aren't really too necessary. Curry is scouted out by Nick's assassin, but...
Nix has to be careful. Yeah. Vendetta is running out, so he has to just hide in the trees, go for a TP away, and Curry will mirror that movement, unknowingly. Yeah.
KS on his Sven is building towards that Bloodthorn. Usually, I like to see Daedalus at this point on Sven, but the thing is, if you get on top of Queen of Pain or Winter Wyvern somehow, that Bloodthorn can definitely help you out a lot. There's no Butterfly, no Radiance on the side of HIPPOMANIACS, so it's not really necessary to have that Thorn in that way, but it still does help out. Even versus the Rage, it's good.
There is, however, a high ground push. Oh no, Nix. No, not like this.
He's fine. There's Surge and Force Staff still.
And they get the tower. Kara looks to move away, but the Rage has ran out. They're going to punch him in the arena, though. They force staff him away. Winner's Curse to buy some time, but Ergon outside the base. First bomb, Supreme will move away. They're giving too much damage over. Saberlight will just TP away. Jakiro, the only one to die, and they got their hands on the tier 3 tower.
Can they catch anyone? Yules does.
Yules means that Sven can't chase. Still had the BKB to work with, was being greedy.
Yeah, he didn't use the BKB like it's on 8 seconds, which is really good for them. Overall, they hold the high ground once again, and perhaps they can turn this and go in for a fight. That Winter's Curse wasn't really that great. It did stop them from pursuing, but at the same time, if you use Winter's Curse on anyone else next to that Sven, they die. But it was used on Sven. The second time, I believe, now in a row. So you don't want to use it on Sven. With God's Strength, he's going to destroy the target he's attacking.
Saberlight definitely the man of the moment there with the arena and then the instant CT out. He sacrificed the 10-second BKB, but to keep the Lifestealer alive,
definitely worth it. Yeah, definitely. And now that Lifestealer has Lincoln Sphere, he's infested in the Sand King, and this is the proper move from them. Just move in the Sand King while Mars is following you.
Especially considering they won't want to fight, considering God's Strength's on cooldown.
They could see Nix here. Yeah, they see him on the sentry.
Move in. Fire Strike, moving out, gets the kill. 50 seconds on the sideline. Ergon spot as well. The Yules is going to be there. As a BKB to work with, we'll have to activate and look to move away. We'll be able to do so, but it's another expensive BKB charge.
Yeah, the BKB is up on Mars again. There's no BKB on Razor. Only one on the side of Dar is.
And Mars, the arena's going to come out. They actually forced the BKB out. Sven buy back out of Nix, but Dark's in trouble. Ice Path won't protect him. He's going to go down as the BKB is activated, but HIPPOMANIACS looked overwhelmed. The buyback's committed. Stun goes out to Sand King after he's hit up by the Spike Carapace. Vacuum connect on the 2. The wall drop, but no big wall target so far. Winner's Curse on the 4. They won't kill off Darkseid. They're getting down to half HP though. It's getting pretty close for comfort, and they'll find him in the end of the Spinner Blast. No buyback as that is the dieback. Simon next to the hit list will fall, and now double stun coming up the Burrow Strike. Nyx hit up with the Sonic Wave, going to go down, and Ergon down to half HP, running out fast. They need an Ice Puff to save his life, but no damage from Sven. He can't stand against this. In fact, he might just die. He's gone. They'll find the kill, and Ergon has a static link to scare them away, but the Burrow Strike, the turnaround, they're going to kill him off as well. He's going to fall. It's going to be a double kill for Curry as GG comes out. HIPPOMANIACS remaining undefeated here. 4 games now.
4 games for them, 4 victories, and this game, yeah, they definitely proved why they have so many wins in this particular day, in this particular tournament. They played really well, much better than any of the teams that they've faced. Like, this particular game is the story of the tournament. They just, it's not, I'm not saying that they play everything perfectly, but they do less mistakes than their opponent.